Hello, my friends. Last week we started looking at the sound combination in English of NG, and I gave you a little bit of homework if you saw that video. It was to find words in English that have the NG in them, either in the middle or at the end. Luckily, in English, there are no words that start with NG because that would be a difficult sound to make. And your job was to notice what your mouth does when you make that sound in words, what your tongue does, your throat, etc. And I didn't tell you what that was going to look like because I thought you might discover it on your own. However, if you didn't, or even if you did and you want to have it confirmed, today we're going to look a little bit at that. So, when we make the NG sound in words in English, it's natural to think that it's a combination of first the N sound and then the G sound. But that is a mistake, and I think that's probably the mistake that most English learners make when they try to learn how to make this sound. If you take a look at the diagram, I'm going to show you, and you'll be able to notice it in your own speech, in your own mouth. This is what the mouth looks like when we're making the N sound. And in fact, try saying the word thin and focus on the N, thin. Notice that your tongue touches the back, usually of your upper teeth, thin. Upper top of your upper teeth, as a matter of fact. And you can make that sound for as long as you want, as long as you have breath. Now take a look at this next diagram. This is the sound that we make when we do just G by itself, G. And that is completely at the opposite side, in the back of the mouth. The back of the tongue comes up, pushes against the back of the roof of the mouth, or even the upper throat, and holds the breath in, and then the sound G comes out when we break that bond and we let out some air. We let out a little bit of breath, G. Now, unlike the N, because that sound comes from a little tiny explosion, we can only make that sound for an instant, G. G. You can go G, 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 but that's just a whole bunch of G's, right? You can't hold the G sound. So when we try to bring N and G together, and if we want to try to follow those two guidelines, that's going to be a mistake because it's going to be something almost impossible for our mouths to do, at least to do correctly, because the sounds are in two completely different parts of the mouth and they're made in two completely different ways. So what we do with the NG sound, because it's a new sound, it's related to the N and the G, and I asked you to try to focus on this. Try to say the word thing. Now, I didn't even do it right there because I let out a little bit of breath. What we want to do is we want to do so the N is not, the sound, the feeling you have in your mouth for the N is not even involved. The N moves all the way back again and is combined with the G. So thing, notice your teeth are not touched by your tongue at all. Thing, thing. However, since the N is compromising, the G also has to compromise. So you have the same position as you have with the G, right? The back of the tongue against the upper part of the throat, but you don't let out that little explosion. You don't let out the G sound, okay? You just stop your breath and move on to the next sound. Thing. The thing is, right? So the thing is. You don't hear the thing is. Making that G sound like a normal G is probably the biggest mistake, or the most common mistake that most English learners make. So now your homework, having seen these diagrams and having learned what your mouth is supposed to be doing, is to go back and find perhaps those same NG words in English in the middle or the ends of words and try doing them like that. it's okay to practice them making the strong G sound, but recognizing that that's the wrong way to do it. And that might be a step towards learning how to do it the right way. So you could try doing thing and then intentionally avoid making the sound, right? So thing, thing, wrong, wrong, bung, bung. Okay, give that a try. Sorry, this was a little bit of a longer one, but it's a challenging sound, but it's so common in English that I think it's worth it. All right, so good luck with that. I will come back with some more information on NG next week. Meanwhile, I hope that you have a tremendous week. Bye-bye.